So, with the whole Conor McGregor situation coming to fruition and the verdict being in, whether or not you agree with the verdict or not, I don't think it's such a airtight case. The CCTV stuff seems a little odd to me. It just kind of seems like at the end of it all, people were getting together and partying where they shouldn't have been. And there's an old adage, there's no honor among thieves. You know, it's what happens when you don't hang out with people of integrity. Things like this happen, things get twisted, things get pushed. And I think overall, the one thing you can hold Conor McGregor guilty of is being unfaithful to D. But still, D has moved forward on social media and said that she is with Conor through this. And I think this should be the one bright spot with all the stuff that Conor's going through, because not only have brands been dropping him, not only fans turning their back on him, not only has most of the people violent, because there are some people who are, whether they are a fan of what has come of his career or not, they're saying, okay, on a case like this, it doesn't seem like he's guilty of anything. So I'm going to say a lot of people in Ireland have rightfully turned their back, whether guilty or not, because he's been such a poor representative of the Irish people with all the antics that he's gotten into. I myself am a heavily letdown fan. I wanted to see Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler at 303, at UFC 303. And even if Conor would have lost that fight, I still would have had respect for Conor for stepping in there. It's when he left the fight and completely left Michael Chandler dangling like that I just completely was like really upset with him as a fan. And, I figured he'd be watching Chandler versus Oliveira too from the sidelines and, laughing at the result. But now he's got his own battle to face. And I think, like I've said before, karmically, altogether, things are kind of coming to a head for McGregor. He hasn't been that fighter that used to fight the best of the best anymore. He has been honestly ducking who I consider the best of the best for a while. Like, you could go all the way back to when Tony Ferguson had the interim title. He never took that fight. So this has been an ongoing thing for a while where he was picking and choosing his fights with Cowboy Cerrone, which was a good pick. But then the Dustin Poirier situation really backfired on him. And even worse than the trilogy. Even when he doubled down on the mean Conor McGregor and the no more Mr. Nice Guy stuff, that was MMA karma at its fullest. And it's continued to snowball because he's continued to be in the UFC public eye without actually having to continue doing what made him famous in the first place. And I'm not saying that he should hop back in the cage, because even if he were to come out on the right end of a fight, I still think a lot of people are just done with it. And he could only coast on the accomplishments he's made, which have been a lot, for so long, and now he's being held to the fire, and things are looking very bleak. Is it over for him? I wouldn't say it's necessarily over, but this is the biggest hit he's taken, because a lot of brand deals dropping him, understandably, just because of all the bad publicity. Like, this is bad for Conor McGregor. And is there going to be a redemption arc for him? I don't know. I'm not too optimistic. I would hope to see it. But I think if there's one thing that is going to help him get that redemption arc going, or at least find a place to start from on the long climb back, and it's going to be a long climb, it honestly would be D. Because, look, I know they don't want people talking online about their relationship, but D is super loyal to Conor. And we live in a time where relationships, there really isn't much of that type of loyalty anymore. So Conor needs to realize that he's a lucky guy to still have her by his side. And part of me thinks that even if he wasn't the world's wealthiest athlete, one of the world's wealthiest athletes, I still feel like D would still be there to help pick him up and get back to where he needs to be. And the one thing I would really highly advise Conor McGregor, if he's going to pull like some sort of redemption arc, if he's going to, never look at another woman except for D again, man, because she has earned queen status by sticking with you throughout everything, including this, my dude. Like, if you have a woman that's that faithful to any man, right, stay with her and treasure her. And I think that's where he could start right now. And yeah, he's going to have a lot more waves of stuff coming his way. I don't know if Hollywood's going to still want something to do with him. And he's going to have to keep taking some more bad news. But I think if he hangs on to this one star, if there is going to be a redemption arc, this is where it starts. But I'm not saying there's going to be a redemption arc, because I'm going to end by saying one thing. I was playing UFC 5 earlier, and I was playing in the lightweight division as Conor McGregor from UFC 205. They made an alter ego. Conor McGregor's best night that he's known for, getting the double championship. And all I can think is, what a long fall it has been from this man right here. If UFC 205 Conor McGregor could look at this current Conor McGregor, would he make different choices? I don't know. But it is up to Conor if he wants to make a redemption arc or not. Peace out.